y'all? That was chill. We good, man. Good, man.
Chilling, man.
Welcome to Radio once again, man.
Yeah, I've been over here in a minute.
New York.
Wow.
Alright, good, man. You know what it is, man. You know how I'm gonna do this, man. Strictly Bar Talk. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got the three founders right here. You know what I'm saying? You got Doc, you got Bandana Red. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, form Alchemist.
Yes, yes.
You know, there's a lot of things going on in the community, in case you don't know, you know what I'm saying, that need to be talked about. And one of the matters is about to be addressed right now. You know what I'm saying? It's something that my man Bandana Red is going through. You know what I'm saying? Not really going through because it ain't a big issue. You know what I'm saying? But it need to be talked about, you know what I'm saying, before it fuels itself and get bigger than what it is. Because basically it ain't really nothing but bar talk anyway. It's all bar talk, you know? So Red, let them know what's going on from your point of view.
First of all, we're here today, Wingate Park, Brooklyn, New York, and the basis of this interview is really in reply to my man Hitman from California. He called me out, he called Joe out, and I ain't really appreciate how he did it. You know, I got mad respect for Hitman. I got mad respect for everybody in this game. Everybody that's hitting the ball, they know they get love from me. And how he came at me, I really didn't appreciate it. I respect a man that, you know, that voices his opinion. You know, I get that to him, but I think he could have approached it at a different angle. Now, what I'm talking about is the whole issue at the Long Island Freeport competition. Now, first of all, let me start off and say this. Big shout outs to and everybody out there who set that up, man. That was a lovely competition. I had fun out there. I enjoyed myself being around a whole bunch of brothers out there. Positivity was just flowing. So big out and shout out to I don't want it to make it seem like all we doing is, you know, naysaying and talking about the judges ruling and all this other stuff. It was a competition. And in any competition, you're going to have competitors going back and forth at it. You know, one person's going to be upset with this ruling, the other person's going to be upset with that ruling. So all's fair in a competition. That's why I'm not really stressing it. But it was just how it came afterwards. You know, the issue with my man Joe. He got up on a pull-up bar and he did an ill routine. You know, he came up on a handstand and clapped. He came back down and swung too fast and fell off the bar. Now, that's a not a disqualification, but once your feet touch the floor, then your set is over. Your routine is done. I understood that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us understood that. But the judges called them back on. They was like, go ahead, get back on. So Joe got back up there and he finished his routine. Now, that's not nothing to get at me about, and that's not nothing to get at Joe about. That's the judges. They called him out on that. So everybody was like, all right, that was cool. You know, he did his thing. Then everybody else got on. And then he started voicing his opinions, you know, about how he didn't feel that was fair and all this other stuff. And granted, his feet touched the floor and his set is over. But that's not grounds for disqualification, you know, because we all doing tricks and stuff on the bar. Somebody's bound to slip off or whatever. Your set is over, but that's not grounds of disqualification. So they scored them. They scored them some high numbers, and then later on they had dropped it. Now all the time, Hit was talking, you know, like, yeah, I said this, I said that. I'm the one that told him to bring the numbers down and everything. And I felt some tension in the air at that particular time. So I walked over there and I made sure I told Hit, I said, look, I understand where you coming from with this. I understand it's a competition and his feet just touched the ground. I got that. You know what I mean? It's all right. It's cool. I don't want there to be no ill feelings. You thinking that we on the sidelines talking about why you said this, why you said that, because we're not about that. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of men there. You know, acting like men, portraying ourselves and behaving like men, and that's how I expected people, everybody to get down. You know. He kept talking about how he thought Joe should have been disqualified and everything. And I went over there and I squashed it. I was like, nah, it's not a big deal. It's good. So I thought from then on, we was good, you know, and that was it. That was the end of the story. Later on B-Rock interview, there was this big misunderstanding with a comment that I made about dude from Bar-Barians. You know, dude that got on a basketball, and pardon me, I forgot his name, but he did this ill routine on the basketball. Jeff, yeah. He did this ill routine on the basketball, and he was the first to set the push-up routines off. And I said that was an ill move. I walked over to him and I said, yo, I don't know how everybody gonna follow that. Remember, he was the first one, so that's the first thing I seen, and I thought that was an ill routine. I said that in the interview, just saying that I thought that was one of the illest things I seen that day. You know, I wasn't saying that to be disrespectful to none of the competitors, because everybody out there showed out. You know what I mean? Everybody from Tech, from Hit, from Joe, from B-Rock, everybody, B-Xtreme, everybody got down and did theirs. You know what I mean? The Long Island dudes got down, they did their thing too. So I was
from Long Island?
Yeah, it was dudes from Long Island there too.
Name some of them, man, because a lot, if you remember.
Nah, I don't know. Besides Devon. Devon is the only dude, light-skinned, short, stocky dude.
Shout out to Devon, shout out to Bob. Bob, I think, was the first person that went out there to go up. He was the first person to go.
Now, them dudes got it in too. And I wasn't being disrespectful when I said that. I was just saying that from the first routine that I saw, I thought that was it. I was like, all right, pack it up, everybody can go home. You know what I mean? On some joking stuff. It wasn't serious. But then from that comment, he took that as I was being disrespectful to all the competitors. And come on now, y'all all know me. You know, how I portray myself in all these videos is how I really am. And I think I really don't have to contest what he said about me not being real. He made a comment on his last interview saying that he thought I was a real brother, but turns out that I'm not. And I don't like that comment, because that insulted my character. And I think anybody who knows, as a matter of fact, anybody who knows me, anybody who has met me, knows that I'm a true dude. You know what I mean? I am humble, and I mean that. It's not like I'm just saying that. I'm a definitely humble dude, and I'm about this as a movement. I'm about dudes hitting the bars, dudes getting physically fit. You know, and that's what it is. It's not nothing. I'm not shouting, throwing no negativity. All right, peace, my brother. I'm not throwing no negativity out there, nothing like that. Everybody who knows me knows how I get down. And I just wanted to clear that up with this interview, so people from the outside looking in don't see this as another beef brewing or something like that, because there isn't. You know what I mean? I got mad love for Hit. I really respect what he do and what he's doing. You know, so I just want to make sure that slate is clean, and that everybody understands that there is no beef going on, and that was just a misunderstanding that I honestly feel shouldn't have got taken to that level.
Now the question is, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, a couple of people, you know, you've seen all the interviews, because you know how we do it. And a lot of people said that they don't think Joe should have even been in the contest, because he's not up there like that. Like his game ain't tight enough for him to be up there. How do you feel about that?
How I feel about that? I think honestly that's some selfishness right there, because this is a movement. Now let me explain what I mean by a movement.
Hold on.
You
get your chance to speak.
Anytime I say, you know, I'm all about the movement, I mean for people, men and women and children, getting themselves physically fit. Now, you don't have to go to the gym, you don't have to pay membership fees. If you got that drive, you got that determination, you can go to any park and you can get it in if you really want to. That's what I mean by a movement. I mean actually putting your determination to get yourself fit, stay in shape, get out there. That's what this is all about. For you to say that a competition is only for a select few, so the top players, I think that's some real selfishness. Because if you look at any league, like basketball for example, you don't got a whole bunch of team